Okay, 6:30, we'll call the August 19, 2019 City Commission meeting to order. We'll get a chance to review the minutes from August 5th.
I make a motion we accept the minutes from August 5th.
Second. Questions, additions, corrections? Colin?
Yes.
Good.
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Yes. Claudia, I'm assuming you want to get out of here.
Oh, appreciate it.
Okay, we'll make you next. Should be Civic Club, NYADA update. Why don't you both come up?
Just be for 1 year.
Why don't you both come up to the table?
You can talk about what you did and then I'll talk about the city club. This is basically just an information thing for you guys.
Yeah, nothing super detailed at this point, but so WYADA had voted to combine the groups of Civic Club. So eventually that would mean that both groups would dissolve and then we would form a new group. Mainly just to consolidate due to the lack of, kind of volunteers and communication. Some people do one group, some do another group, so just get everybody that wants to be involved in one group. So right now I think the only thing, or the main thing that would affect the city is the sales and use tax. So that the Home Rule Charter, that's ordinance 136, I printed that off, states that 2 members from Civic Club would be on there. So obviously Civic Club goes away. That ordinance needs to be amended, or I don't know exactly what would happen, but it would need to be changed. So that's just something that the commission needs to be aware of. As far as the time frame, I don't know. I mean, we're in the school along as fast as we can, trying to have a new organization structure by year end, but really maybe 6 months, 8 months, probably a realistic goal to have a whole organization set up.
Yeah, the Civic Club at our meeting did vote to work towards the new organization and when things are in place to formally dissolve Civic Club. Obviously, we know one of the things that needs to be taken care of before Civic Club is officially dissolved is the sales and use tax thing. And again, the other thing for people to understand is even though the Civic Club has voted to do this, again, as Tony said, it's a process. It's probably going to be 6 months before we're ready to do that. Even if it's some reason that happens sooner, Civic Club as a group has committed to do the public events that we normally would do through Taste of Washburn.
Mm-hmm.
So the candy caravan, the tree lighting, the small business Saturday, the Santa party, and Taste of Washburn. That is, we are committed to do that. I didn't want people to think, oh, Civic Club is expanding, all that stuff's going away. And it's not. I just want to let people know that.
And same thing with WYADA. I mean, it's been a little difficult with, now we have a couple new board members that got on here at the last meeting, but it has been as usual. All the programs and offerings we have are still available.
Because the next step then is to work on creating a 501c6
Free.
I keep getting that mixed up. Type of organization, and Larry's been on that committee that formed that. And then with that, board of directors, bylaws written, things like that submitted to the state to become an official organization. And then once that's an official organization, then we can look at combining the other 200.
Because obviously there's some of the other key things we're going to have to figure out is, WYADA still has some money. Whose money is that? Does that have to go back to the city or 1 cent sales tax and we request that, or was that, from dues from past year? We kind of need to go back and do some auditing of the books and figure out some of the legalities of those, what we do with those funds once we kind of dissolve. So there's a lot of work to be done yet,
But part of the reason for coming here is when we did the surveys with the focus group and the public, the biggest thing was, one of the big things was communication between the different groups, between the city, between all these other ones. So that's the one thing we're trying to do, is make sure as this process happens, it gets communicated to you guys, to the city, community members as well. So.
Well, it's definitely going to take some planning. I mean, there's no doubt. I guess where are we at as far as if the strategic plan goes? You know, that's kind of what
I would like to have it done by the first quarter of 2020.
Okay.
So starting sometime in January, February, once we get this organization set up, we'll pull some people in from focus groups, from the board, and we will get a city strategic plan. Because we have a lot of that information, and we don't want to put that to waste. You know, that was some of the original, part of the original intention of doing some of these focus groups, and then it just got to be, well, it's hard to do that before you have a group set up and the people that are going to do it, but that needs to happen sooner than later. Yeah.
Are we back under with the contract with Megan? Or
I'm working on getting some emails.
Because that's the thing, Megan from Strengthen ND is who we worked with to get us to this point, and that contract was fulfilled, and with the WAITA funds is doing a new contract with her, because a lot of this stuff of setting up the organization, writing the basic bylaws, she's already done all that before, so that'll make us go a lot faster and do a lot more things, because she's worked with a couple of other cities that are a couple of steps ahead of us in this type of project, so that's going to help us.
Yeah, we'll be back this fall about a strategic plan. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, questions? Kind of informative at this point.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me go early, so I can go home.
Maybe you went. Okay, police contract. Which one's in the there? Never seen that.
Yep.
Anybody have anything they'd like to see have in the police contract?
So you went up about 2% from last year?
Yep. 2% raise. Was raised given to the employees.
Now, how are you guys seeing this? There's a non-contract. Is that going to affect us any at all with needing more people to go to White Shield and stuff since they picked up new contracts up there?
Well, it's the same amount of hours that Garrison was given as what White Shield picked up.
So we shouldn't see any change from what we are currently getting? The current contract basically kind of review, is it an hourly deal that we get charged for, or just kind of give us an overview of what, the contract is?
It's an hourly rate. It's figured out what a starting deputy makes. That's what the hourly rate is based off of. And at one time, the city just paid a fee, and there was no real basis to how that fee was applied. So at that time, we looked at what that amount was, and we found out what a salary for a starting deputy was, and we divided it by to figure out how many hours per day coverage would be. figured it out 6 years ago or 5 years ago when Sheriff Person took over. Prior to that, it was just a rate set by the commission for the sheriff for this year. But then, you know, we had officers that were, like when I started here, I was strictly a Washburn deputy. You know, the only time I worked in other towns was to fill in for vacation or something happening. And when Sheriff Kurzman took over, that kind of ended. They were all county deputies, so it could be somebody, you know, from Garrison working down here that day. They checked this 19.46 hours is in our report writing program, so they can see in that day which areas need coverage. If Washburn had received their hours, or some of the other towns have already received their hours, they can direct their officers to those areas that haven't received their hours. You know, so there may be some days that you don't receive 19.46, but there may be other days where you're receiving over 19.46. So, in the end of the year, you know, we can tell, you know, what you paid for and, you know, how many hours we exceeded that. So. And I don't know, I think they're sending a B report now showing you the hours. So.
I do have a question on there. What's the red versus the black?
The red is short than 19.46.
Okay.
I think, you know, a lot of the issues that we actually hear from, you know, people in town is, you know, dogs running around town, you know, and, you know, and also people parking, they're not supposed to be parking, you know, and I know it's always been kind of a little contention between everything. I guess, you know, I don't know how busy you guys are during the day, but that's what we hear, you know.
Yeah. And, you know, the officers may not actively go out and search for parked vehicles. Last year when we spoke, you mentioned the subject on 4th, you know, with his vehicles and trailers and stuff. This past winter, we you know, actively, you know, addressed his, you know, every snowfall when he was cleaning it up and moving it.
Yeah.
But when we do have a complaint, we address the complaint.
Great. Ray?
Well, as long as we're talking about the police contract, and I understand we have to have police protection. But I was under the impression that the sheriff's department enforces the city ordinances. Now, I don't know if that's written down, but they don't enforce very many of them. And if you happen to go out and mention to them about something, then the deputy sometimes goes, oh, we don't care what a neighbor calls, so you have to move your car, or you have to move your trailer, or whatever. And this fellow that lives by the post office, for a whole year, he parked his cars across the street from the post office. We plowed around them all winter. We street kept around them. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. And you bring it up and they go, well, yeah, we're working on it. Working on it. If he's been there 50 hours, he gets a ticket. You know, I understand we have, but why they can't enforce some of these ordinances? Either they've been told by the city not to, or they won't. And maybe when they don't do it, we don't pay them for a month. That might get their attention. It's ridiculous.
I think some of that, you know,
There's a,
some of the deputies, especially when I was more on patrol in Washburn, that I live in this community, and other people that live in this community, support the community, that you don't want somebody hating you. You know, so we, you know, it isn't like we do select sometimes it does, but maybe most of the time it doesn't.
We are working with the deputy on that parking issue you're talking about, so. There is a deputy working on that parking issue you're talking about, so.
If you noticed the other day, his vehicle was flagged.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer. The guy's sitting on Fourth Avenue with the trailer house, and half the time, the side is pushed out, and you can't even drive around there. And if you say something, well, he's building a garage. Well, that's not my problem. If he's building a garage, find a spot to put your trailer someplace else instead of on Fourth Avenue for 6 months. But nothing happens.
I don't say nothing happens.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Go ahead.
You know, I brought up this from the Washburn Ambulance Service. We really need the police department because we have like 80 to 100 calls a year inside Washburn. And we use them for scene safety to make sure, you know, we're not getting into a hostile environment or whatever. And then when we leave with a family or a patient, they make sure that the person's house is locked up and things are, you know, taken care of. That's
Well, exactly, and this isn't about getting rid of the contract.
right. I just want to bring up, they do a lot of good stuff.
Well, I know they, yeah. No,
And a 2% raise in 1 year ain't much to ask either. I mean,
no.
what they do provide for us and every other community around it. I mean, it's not that much money if you think about it. It's what, $1,500 more was it last year, like 12?
Not that much.
Yeah, you know, I mean,
It's not a significant increase. I think what I hear most is, what do these guys do for what we're paying everyone? That's the biggest thing, kind of like Larry said, you know, it's like, you know, we've got these ordinances, but nothing is done. My expectations are if you know, the McLean County Sheriff's Office is to enforce our laws or our ordinances, they should know them. You know, no, I mean, and I understand, yes, it is a small town, and, you know, like the parking thing. I don't want to see it just, okay, we go across the board, and anybody that's parking, we give them a ticket. Well, you know, let's use some common sense here too, find out what's going on. You know, with the case of the guy up here, I don't know the guy, maybe he's not aware of it. Maybe we need to talk to him and say, hey, you know, during the winter, don't be parking out there. You know, it's a snow route, you know, simple things like that. But again, I see, you know, the biggest one, and I see it all the time, is, and I hear it all the time, is, my gosh, dogs barking continuously. It gets really annoying to have to sit there and listen to the dogs barking every night for hours on end. The dogs, you know, running through my yard.
Did you call in?
Huh?
Did you call in?
I haven't, you know, but again, you know, should I have to do that? It's like, you know, speeders on the highway, you know, should I have to call it in? Not necessarily. You know, I think just making an effort, and, you know, there's, I'm not going to mention names, but somebody I know called in recently, and as of yet, they haven't gotten a response back. You know, at least the courtesy of follow up. You know, to me, within a matter of a few hours, to me, it's not unreasonable, I don't think.
Just CCD revenue from the ticketing, law enforcement.
I think we get a 50 fine, don't we?
Any idea which that is?
get some from the highway tickets too.
Yeah, anything written in city court, you get anything written in district court, state gets something.
Ray, you got a question?
I'm not against McLean County being our police department. But somebody's got to tell those people that drive around the patrol cars, if the door opens and they can get out, and they can put a ticket on a vehicle after they've driven by it 7 days in a row. I mean, it's not a rocket science
parking officer. So for these guys to drive by, I mean, he can drive by once a day, so like car has to do it in a week. But, you know, without knowing who that guy worked for, there's people that can go to work and come home and park in the exact same spot every day. So
I
somebody drives by,
understand it, but there's people that park for 2 weeks in the same spot every day and never move their car. The deputy drive by, lives down my way at least 3 times a day, and he will not be out. You know, don't take it. Just don't you for the belt, sorry, because 90% of the time, if you move your car, the belt won't be back in the same place. So it's not a rocket scientist. And if you call up and say it's been here a week and a half, well, then they go down and say, well, we don't care what Hector called. Well, thanks a lot. I'm trying to help them out. So, I mean, I think they do a good job, but they don't want to enforce the city ordinances, and I think you should hit them in the pocketbook if they're not going to do what they're supposed to do.
Okay, thank you, Ray. Anybody else have anything?
like I say, you know, I think, you know, I don't think that's an unreasonable request, you know, 2%. Like Kit said, I mean, it's, you know, nothing's getting cheaper.
We just gotta keep open communication.
I question the amount of, again, the amount of service we're getting for that. I just don't feel that we're getting
Some of
the value.
some of the, you know, the hours or night hours, or, you know, we get patrol hours, building checks. But you gotta, like, you know, is it a safe community? Do we provide a safe community to the residents of Orchard?
Yeah, if there was something wrong, you call 911, they're gonna respond anywhere in this town a lot faster than they are in other towns. And it's right here in the back.
And it'll be everybody on duty.
Just keeping open communication is the biggest thing. You know, it wouldn't hurt to come down once in a while and, you know, check in with the commission just to see what we're hearing. You know, nothing out of the ordinary.
Anything else for Richard? Thank you, Richard.
You guys.
I'm going to move that we accept the 2020 police contract.
Second.
Colin?
Yes.
Kit?
All right.
Mike?
Aye.
Yes. Good street maintenance. Mark Well.
Well, I'm here today, because I was here a couple of weeks ago. I put some crushed concrete on 3rd Street, which is a city street. I'm not happy with the way it was spread out.
You said you said it was right.
No, I didn't. You said you
You
did a nice
texted me
job.
and said it looked good. You said nice job.
Yeah, I was being polite.
Yeah, I don't know, somebody says,
Well-
nice job, I pretty much expected a nice job.
But you went to Brian before I went and talked to him. He's gonna come down and fix it. And you told him not to pull it back. So you already knew that there was something wrong with the work.
There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, video showed. So, anyways. On the slope, there's 3 bald spots that don't even have any material on it.
Now, is the rain sitting there when it rained the other day? No.
This is a slope.
Yeah, right, but I mean, was it, it looks like a dip according to this picture. I was just wondering if
All right, it's a high spot on the road.
the high spot, okay.
picture number 2. That's the bottom. That's a 4x4 piece of wood. The material is approximately a foot deep at the bottom. And I have bald spots at the top. And then, because of the 12-inch rise, if I drive off on there in the wintertime, I'm not going to be able to drive back up. And that road was all tapered because there's on the other side where I'm standing, there's a culvert to accept water.
Where are you standing here?
Right by the emergency access. Well, anyways,
Where's it a foot deep at?
Yeah.
where that 4x4 is, right there. Right,
A foot deep right there?
right here.
Oh,
It,
from here.
it goes, yep, it comes up a foot. So there's plenty of material. Because my contractor, when he brought material, which I paid for, he said, you have plenty of material, you probably have some left over. And I have bald spots on the street. And there's,
Where are the bald spots?
in the first picture, those dark spots,
These?
that's gravel. That's down to the gravel. And that's one of the reasons why I did this improvement, was to put the crushed concrete on that slope going up. Well, anyways, I pay taxes. And I did this because I'm trying to save the city some money by paying for the material, paying for the hauling. It's a gravel road. In the 5 years I've been down there, the city hasn't once come down there. I take that back. Turk brought me a little bit of gravel one time. I purchased 6 loads of millings from Butler across the street. I spread it myself and I put it on there because I asked the city, when you guys had all that storage down by the fertilizer plant, and we could put some on that street, and instead you guys let them all haul it over to the old antique farm machinery instead of putting it on a street. So I had to go to Butler and purchase stuff myself to put on it. Well, anyway, so I pay taxes. My garage faces the street. I also own 301 on First Avenue. That garage and driveway also face the street. That's going to be another issue I'm going to bring up about the winter maintenance. But I want to take care of this first. So, Larry, you know what Third Street runs into what?
I'm sorry?
Going by my house, the street, where does it go?
Goes down the hill.
And what is
It
that?
stops. Yeah,
It's emergency access road.
right.
Yeah, because of Hawkins and the railroad, we have to have it out down there. Because if we ever had a hazmat response, like we're doing out of GRB right now with the railroad, all the residents down there have to have an exit. And who's
There's
gonna-
a bike path down there, really.
Oh, I'm sorry. Anyways, I've been taking care of this road for the last 10 years. I've been putting my own material on it. I've been trimming the trees, spraying the weeds. Goes down to the path, and then you drive out on the path down to the park. And I'm really getting tired of doing the city's work for us.
I think you pretty much volunteered to do that, if I remember right.
Well, I consider myself a nice person.
Well, I mean, if you volunteer to do it, then, okay, he's gonna take care of it himself. So, I mean, you have to do that.
I have asked. And when I came about doing this crushed concrete, I came to the city and asked. I said, hey, I'll pay for the material.
And I went
I'll
down
pay for
and
the
I did a
hauling.
wonderful job spreading it out, and you said, it looks great. I mean, nice
I
job.
didn't say it looked great.
Well,
I was
well,
being,
they hook up it.
Larry, yeah, go ahead. I can mine too. I said,
Well, it's
It
the
looked nice.
material of who said what and who did what.
Yeah.
If this ain't right, let's go back down and fix it. I mean, this is, I'm not gonna sit here and listen to the bitching and pissing and moaning for some goddamn crushed concrete.
well, that's just
Take
it.
a blade and we can go back down there and in a couple hours it's gonna be fixed.
Well, I went,
You want me to do it, I'll go do it.
no, it was like the next day, I went and talked to Brian, and they said, hey, can you come down? I told Larry he did a nice job. That's exactly what I said. I was being nice to him. I'm not gonna sit there and bitch because he put Brian on doing asphalt cracks. So Larry was nice enough to come down with the blade. I'm not gonna be rude to him.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just, I mean,
Right.
it's wrong. We gotta go fix it. All I said. I don't care what you said. I don't care what you said. I don't care what the text said.
Right.
Let's take the blade back down there in a couple hours. It's gonna be handled.
Exactly. We shouldn't even be here.
Right.
Exactly.
Because I went to Brian twice. About 2 weeks ago, after Larry was done, I said, can you come down and kind of fix it a little bit? Well, it's not bad. I mean, there was a lot of material. Larry did a pretty good job spreading it, but it's not right, you know. So then I asked him about Brian if he was going. He said, nope. Larry said, don't go down there. Don't pull that back. Well,
That
he
was
told,
immediately after it was done. That was not 2 weeks ago. So, no one
I
needs to
know
go there.
that.
No one needs to go there.
that's what I
You could have done it 2 weeks ago, you know, I mean,
No.
things need to be adjusted.
Okay.
So,
Is Brian here tonight?
no, you definitely.
Okay, last week, I went to Brian again after things had settled. I said, can you come down there and pull that back? Nope. Larry said, don't go down there. I said, okay, then I'm gonna have to go to the city and complain, and here I am.
Well, will it work if we get in the next week or so? If we have a person available to do it?
Sure.
Will that work for you?
Oh, yeah.
To go work this in, because things that I pack, things that I move, we're gonna have to do some maintenance on it sooner or later. And I don't see that unreasonable. We just need to do it.
Okay.
So do we need to have a motion for that, or do we just need to, in the next
Motion.
so many days,
Can,
a week,
I got
10 days?
one final picture.
Okay.
Okay, because I didn't know if Larry was gonna bring this up or not. But this here is number 4. That's my corner pin. I've had all my property surveyed. This is my driveway, so this is the starting of the material. So everything is in Boulevard, if that's a concern.
What's your,
But I,
what's your issue here?
Just that all the material is on
is
city
in-
property?
Yep.
Yeah, we need to go do it in the next week to 10 days, and then revisit it in 2 weeks after that. Would that sound like a good deal? Make sure
Sure.
everything looks good?
Yep,
Okay.
that's all I wanted.
We'll need to revisit it 2 weeks after that, just call somebody and come down and look at it. Get with you, we don't need 2 weeks, we
Well-
don't need to drag it out for a month. I don't think, but whether,
Just to make sure it's good.
and then I would suggest from here on forth, you don't do nothing out of your own pocket no more. If there's an issue, you come to the city.
Okay. Well, okay, the next thing is snow removal. I've had 0 snow removal in the last 5 years. I've been told, if you want your street done, you better do it yourself.
Who told you that?
Dad done when I built my house. And Brian is
superintendent.
We have to,
Well, my other point is you have this emergency access road. I've been keeping that open in the winter time as well. But I'm tired of playing these games.
Well, obviously, that's something that's got overlooked. I mean, I don't know why our guys would not emergency access, I mean, that would be,
And another thing is that our street down there, First Avenue, is like the, you guys have plowed the alleyways before you plow our street. We've called the city a week after a snowstorm to get you guys to come down and plow First Avenue. And you guys, I shouldn't say you guys, I'm sorry, but it's, they go down and open up the road to the water treatment, they go right by us, and then they forget about us. Well, it's something that,
well, let us know the next time, let's
It's just
try
areas
to,
where, like I say, I don't live down there, so I don't see it.
Yeah.
Unless I have a reason to go down there and look.
we need to do a better job of it.
But I guess my question would be, have you historically opened it yourself? Or,
I've had to.
but well, that's what I'm wondering if. you know,
I've even had to
areas
go clear
where-
up, and myself and Michelle were both on the ambulance service. We need to get out. That's one of the reasons why I had to get a skid steer, because I was told you're gonna have to open up your own road. Well, what I pay in taxes isn't right.
Well, we're not gonna get into taxes now.
Well, I'm just
We
saying,
need to look at it.
and
Yeah.
you've been out there, there's plenty of room to turn around.
When I worked in the city, I would clean that road.
And I've even
And I
improved it
cleaned
and
down the
widened
path,
it
but
and
that was
moved
a
it.
long time ago.
Right.
But anyway, okay.
Let's move forward.
Make sure that they know that they need to open that up.
All right.
yourself, you HR people will go over with your personnel. Have a little meeting.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, give me a, I hereby resign from the Special Assessment Commission due to the poor actions of our mayor and Larry Thomas as myself. I cannot fulfill my duties of being on the Special Assessment Commission. I've done my best to be fair when working on this commission, but with Larry Thomas's actions, I feel that I'm not supported by Larry Thomas as a taxpayer and a resident of Washburn on the Special Assessment Commission. I would consider a future appointment to this commission when Larry Thomas is the City of Washburn Commission Board. A request of this matter is reviewed by the City of Washington Human Resources Department, so future residents and taxpayers are not treated in the manner that I would like Mr. Larry Thomas. Sincerely, Mark Bell.
How did you get treated badly?
Because, Larry, you have a vendetta against me because I've
I have nothing against you, Mark. I don't know,
Your mind-
where did this come from? I mean, what have I done, as far as treating unfairly on the special assessment, like,
by going to Brian and telling him, don't go down there and fix it, when you knew that it
so
needed to
that
be pulled
that
out.
that is how I was vendetta against you being on the special assessment committee.
No,
I make a motion to approve his resignation.
thank you.
I second it.
Okay, discussion. Colin?
I-
Okay,
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Oh, yes. Wow. Okay. Tom will move you up. Budget, Tom.
I want to talk about that missing $200,000.
Okay.
It's been 3 months. You had an auditor go through it, and was that a state agency sent an auditor in? Was it a private auditor?
The audit that we did was 16 and 17, right? Or 17 and 18. What we did was we actually contacted the state for our yearly audit this time,
Okay, was it,
and
okay, were they the people that discovered this missing $200,000?
So it was noticed prior to that, but then they came in and so they asked you a bunch of questions during the audit, different things that you've seen, so that was one of the items that was mentioned.
Okay, and it was a state
North
employee?
Dakota State Auditor's Office.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Did you have to pay for that, or was it,
yeah,
how much was it?
they don't have that in front of me, but it's significant to you.
We have that done every year, the audit.
I'll get you those
Okay.
if you want them.
Yeah, that's, okay, and it just appears to me that, okay, the money's lost. If you haven't found it by now, you're not gonna find it. So we're gonna raise the mills, 85 mills to cover that missing money, is that right?
We hired an auditor to look for the money, because we don't know where it's at either.
Okay,
So we hired somebody to do that now.
a private auditor or another state agency or,
Nexus with HVAC.
pardon me?
Nexus is the name of the company.
Okay.
They're part of HVAC.
They have to go back, how many years, Randy?
So right now they are looking at the special assessment piece. They're looking at what was assessed, what the county has received in revenue.
Okay, and the 200,000 that's missing, was it a, like, 5,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 there, and then all of a sudden it amounted to 200, or was it one chunk of $200,000?
So when you say 200,000 missing, what are you referencing? What are you talking about?
It's not really missing, what it is, it appears we're taking in less than we're paying out.
You're talking about a special assessment?
Special
Going on.
I'm talking about, the way I understood it was, there's $200,000 of special assessment money, tax money, that is just missing.
No,
It's not missing, it's, you know, or whoever said, we're paying out more than we're taking in revenue. So then it comes down to find out, you know, was the special assessments allotted correctly to the county? And I can pass on to the city? Is it bookkeeping issues in the past? We don't know. But we can't really say it's not lost.
no, it's not like we stole it, you know,
So it's just a mistake, or,
that's what we're trying to figure out.
okay, and like I said, it's been 3 months, and so the proposal is the city wants to increase the taxes in Washburn 85 mills. Is that to cover that loss?
What we did in the preliminary budget is we put that in there just in case. We can, as we find out more information, once you do the preliminary budget, you can take away from it, but you can't add to it. So that would be worst case scenario.
Okay.
We're hoping to take, you know, a lot of that, if not all of that.
Okay, if you get your 85 mil increase, and then you find money, you're going to give it back to the taxpayers, because the government usually doesn't give any money back. If they get it, they keep it,
I
and
would
they
sure
spend
hope-
it someplace
I
else.
sure hope so we would, yes, that would be the goal, yes.
So if you get this 85 mil increase, and somewhere within the next, what's reasonable, 6 months, a year to find this problem, resolve it? You find it, you're going to give us the money back.
I would hope so. You know, but it could be, you know, like possibly levying, you know, instead of our regular, say, 45 mils, levy 15 mils the next year. You know what I mean? It could be really hard writing everybody a check for a couple bucks, you know what I mean?
So that tells me you're not going to give it back. We're going to keep it because it's too much work to give it back.
You would get it back one way or the other, yes.
Well,
Because that is money that's earmarked for a specific purpose. You know, it has to be used for that purpose.
I guess I'm just missing something here that, I mean, in private business, if this would not work, it would, if you were the $200,000 error. But in government, it's just, we'll find it. It doesn't make sense, Larry.
Believe me, I think we are way more concerned about it than everybody.
Okay, all right.
We do not like doing this, believe me, but, you know, we have to do what's best for the interest of the people. You know, we can't just keep going in the hole, $200,000, you know what I mean?
Exactly,
Yeah.
and I just hope you keep on top of it and you don't keep pushing it off, and eventually the
Oh.
taxpayers forget about it because they're not gonna. This
Well,
is,
no, and we're not either.
All right.
You know, we hired a firm, last month to check into this. Rainey has given them just buttloads of information, you know.
but there again, if you pay $20,000 for an audit to the state tax department, I can imagine what you're gonna pay to a private auditing firm to come in. It's just,
I think our original contract, like $20,000 or something. With
It's
this,
an estimate.
Mhm.
it's an estimate.
Estimated hours, so it depends upon how much actual time you spend.
okay, but this next audit, that's gonna be above and beyond this, whatever you've already spent.
Correct.
We have to do an audit. We have to do an
But
audit.
correct me if I'm wrong, this audit that we're doing now is specifically aimed at finding this. The other audit was to do all the books, do everything.
So that had nothing to do with this problem.
Well, that was a mandatory one that we have to do every year.
For bonds.
And before, we went to private companies, and this last one, we went to the state.
Okay,
And that's what we're gonna keep going to from now on, is the state.
okay.
You know, because they know what the hell's going on, and these private people can miss something, and then the state comes in. I'd rather have it in their hands and miss something than
The state or in the private?
state.
Okay, but you already have the state audit, the thing, right?
Yep,
Mhm.
But
and that's, we have to do that every year.
the state
But that's-
auditing the whole thing,
Yeah.
Not just
just
this.
a
Right.
separate, either just a separate.
So you think this 200,000 is it something in the special assessments? Or-
It is just.
is- okay.
It is just in the special assessment. You know, like Colin said, you know, maybe, the interest is calculated wrong or something, you know,
Okay, okay.
something.
That's what we don't
And that's
know,
what we need to
if
find
the
out.
information,
And the state auditor can't,
all they're gonna identify is if there's a discrepancy.
okay, and this is your problem, you take care of it,
Right.
kind of thing?
And they don't do that kind of work.
All right, okay. All right, well, you answered a few questions, I wish you well, I hope you find it. and,
Boy, so do we.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you for doing that, appreciate it. Okay. Gravel purchase?
Go back to number 3.
He's not here.
Okay.
But we will go to that, this one. If you have something to say on it. Gravel purchase, you know, we talked about getting some stockpile of gravel. We got some bid, one from Todd Money out there, $13 a ton hauled into our compound, and had one from Weiss and Sons, it's, $18 a ton hauled into the, they're both class 5. It's really nice to have, you know, some for emergencies or, you know, whenever we need it, so, the pile we have is pretty small. So I'd like to, you know, get some of that stuff piled in the, pile into the, compound yard.
It was 200 tons, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about 200 tons.
Is that what one booth?
It'd be about 800 loads. That would come to what? Be like 2,600. You'd probably knock it down to 150 tons. Save a little money. So make a motion that we, have Todd, Damani haul in 150 tons of, gravel at $13 a ton.
We'll second that.
Question?
We're just, what fund is this coming out of, paperwork?
Road maintenance?
Under the highway or something, or something,
We got money in there to cover that?
sure. It's only like
It's only a couple thousand.
$1,900. Well, it would be come under the, I suppose, I don't have my budget in front of me. What do you think, Randy? You got money in, highway fund or?
I would say 201, it would be maintenance,
Yeah.
highway
Any other questions?
Yes.
Good.
Aye.
Mike?
Aye.
Okay. Conclude disease trees. You have something on that yet, or?
Hmm,
Oh, okay.
what was it about?
I don't know.
So when he was in here, he had asked to be on the agenda for today because we wouldn't let him speak about it at the last meeting.
The last meeting. Oh, yeah, that's right, because he wasn't on the agenda for that. Yeah, they keep
So
going.
we'll put it on there.
Must have found more than I'm assuming.
Table that till next time then?
Well, if he wants to come in, yeah. Park board, Keith Patterson. Figured that's who you were.
Yeah, that's who I am. National Park Board, we're just coming to see if we can request that money that was promised to us in the 2019 budget, $10,000.
First of all, it wasn't promised, it was just put in the budget,
Yeah.
as a possible.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess my question is, why do you need it?
Just for operations, because all the other, the only thing else we get is from, county, which is about 137, 158,000 to run the pool and the parks. Now, the maintenance issues that we have maintained.
How much money do you guys, or what kind of cash are you sitting on right now, cash flow?
It was 7,000.
So if you have 70,000, I think you're probably fine, at least in my opinion. You know, it was put in there, so if you guys, are actually buying, then, if you request it, that's how I look at it anyway. I don't know what everybody else has to say.
Well, with our budget right now, we better try to hang on to everything we can. Because people are going to be upset if we're just giving it out when there's already money available or they have money in hand just to add to their pockets. Because we can't ask for it back
Once you give it.
once we give it.
Oh, no.
So I think for right now we should hold tight until there's a problem.
No, I agree. I think, if you get to the point where you've got a big expenditure coming up and you don't have the funds to cover that, I would expect you to come to the city at that point.
Okay.
But I say just the way this budget is sitting, where we're at, yeah, I don't feel comfortable giving that out just to, plan a bank account for.
We ain't fought back because we need to build new pool here soon. It's all running down on flat leg.
Is that bad?
Yep. It's not bad. About 3 years ago, we'll shut it down if you don't have a plan in place.
Really? Wow.
Fix it or
Okay. But is it like the funding, or is it,
basically everything, filtration system, all the whole pool starting to crack and fall apart. There's going to be a big expenditure coming up soon that we have to take care of, and our budget don't right now. We're going to cover that.
well, yeah, your budget basically covers operations.
Yeah, we've got enough for operations now.
Yeah, whereas, you're probably looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars.
We're looking at $2 million.
But yeah, we put stuff in the budget, doesn't mean that's actually where it goes. It's just, a budget item if it needed. So, I guess if somebody wants to make a motion not to, or if we just, or not provide it, or if it's just, I don't know if we need to do that.
Yeah, that's the one that you're gonna need $2 million to repair a facility. I don't think 10,000 is gonna do you any good.
No.
I think there's a lot more to this than, and I think we knew this was coming too. It's been a couple of years that we've heard about this, and what do you do? I mean,
Yeah.
there's talks about, tearing that whole thing out and putting something in that whole block at one time. I thought there was talk about that.
That's not happening. That's out of the realm. That's a $5 million project. That's not happening, no matter who wants that. So, but, yeah, that's kind of where we're at, so we're just asking people and getting the city help or backing when this stuff comes to a head.
We're safe, we have this special assessment deal behind us, maybe a different outcome, but.
Or water intake on, you know.
Okay, then I'll report back to them and tell you the number right now, and they'll see where they want to go from there.
Thank you for coming in.
Okay? All right, thank you.
Thanks, sorry.
No problem.
All right, we'll go to number 7, American Legion, doors and a elevator. Mike, is that?
Yep, Terry was going to be here, but he had a prior commitment. What we're still working on is the Legion wants to replace the doors in the front and work on them. And I'm working on getting bids in from Fargo Glass and CH Bid. Here, this one here is just information. It would do one side, I believe, and this is just a generic one for right now, for how much it would cost to put one glass door in, kind of like what it is already. Yep. And the Legion verbally right now was talking about paying for them, but it depends on how much it costs and stuff like that, so we're working on that. The elevator, I got the next bid in for, or not a bid, but an estimate on how much it would cost to put an actual elevator in, and that was $88,000. And that's in your deal. So what we're seeing with the elevator for the access at $22,000, if the Legion pays half of it, we're at about $11,000. So we're just still working these numbers around to see who wants to pay for the doors and the elevator, and where we can come up with a budget on it.
Wait a minute, you said 88,000, but we paid half.
No, 88,000 for a true elevator, but when we put the bids in for that other elevator, that was only 22,000,
Okay.
and they would pay half of it. So we'd be better off going with that first elevator that we had a couple of months ago. There was the 22,000.
Okay.
So we're just moving forward with getting all the bids in, or not bids, all the information, so you guys are aware of how much this would cost if you go with an actual elevator. So that's reference material. So we're not keep working on doors right now. I would like to get them done sometime this year, if possible. But we're still waiting for more companies to come in and inspect. And we need to tie the one door in because the concrete keeps lifting.
Well, yeah,
So-
it'd have to be dug out.
Right, we need to, keep working on this. So, just so that we're aware of it.
Questions on that? Ordinance 1172. Planning and zoning. Planning and zoning. Working on putting together, in addition to the, I should say, a rewrite of the section of the planning and zoning ordinance to make it a little easier, a little more friendly for people that want to do lot splitting, lot renting. You'll see it in that paper in front of you there. That's a big paper that you've got. It starts on in the middle of the page on page 44. What we're looking at is amendments to ordinance. I don't know if you guys want to review that before we do our first reading, which we could do next meeting. But I think, we should probably want to review it before we do the first reading.
So the section on lot lot splits,
It-
lot of mergers,
it-
that's what's been added?
It started with a replat.
Okay.
We never had a replat before. Okay, and then it goes down on to the next page. It goes to the top of the page right before 117.7.6. Stops at transfer lots.
So you have to have two readings. Then if you don't do the first reading tonight, then we'll have to change this to be adopted. That's next meeting.
So, at the last meeting, I mentioned that we were working on, doing this. You remember that? Then we wanted to make sure we had everything done right before we did the first reading. But if you would like, we could go ahead with the first reading right now. It has to be published too, right? And then before the second reading, or
The finding section has to be what has to be published. Just finding section.
oh yeah.
Are they limited down to 2 lots?
Because that's actually the way it was originally figured for a lot split. That was already in the ordinance, but we made it for a lot split and a merger. Just to make it easier for people to have to go through such a big long process of all the hearings and stuff like that. It's just a little bit shorter version, and it's only 2 because we figure if it's any more than that, then it basically goes into a replat. Whereas 2, it's either just a split or a merger. So.
Is there any limitations on lot size? If you got a small lot to begin with, you want to split something like that small?
Yeah, if I believe somewhere in there, it's, let's see. Yeah, the 2 lots conform to the requirements of the respective zone districts. So, if you have a small lot, you split it into 2 lots. Well, a lot has to be like a certain size, I believe, in order to be, buildable. That'll be somewhere.
That's what I would question, and I should reference that order, that zoning ordinance. Refer to that section there, I should say, yeah.
Well, why don't we, let you guys redo it, and we'll bring it up the next meeting for like first reading. And then if there's any other questions on it, then, we'll get that figured out.
So when it says current taxes, that's the one,
I don't think you can do that because each section is going to be different based on how it's built. So, like, I just opened page 15, yard requirements, there's a certain section under that type of thing. So we have to list each of those sections. That's why we're worded so vaguely, just so that you know that you have to come back in the same document to find that information.
current would be billed taxes at that time, right? Okay, it says current taxes must be up to date, so that's
Right.
for that year, not
Up
for
to
the
that point, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not everything that's written, spelled out. No.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering,
Correct.
Well, we'll do the first reading.
Everybody ready again? Randy, you want to read it? You want me to?
Yeah, section 117.7.4 is a replat, or replat of existing lots for consider the application. 3, the public hearing will be conducted according to 117.1 procedures of this ordinance. Number 4, following the hearing, a recommendation will be made to the City Commission. Number 5, all current taxes must be up to date for replotting consideration. Number 6, D, 117.7.5 below. 117.7.5 is lot splits and lot mergers. A lot split or merger may be exempt from the platting or replatting requirements of this ordinance if the following conditions are met. Number 1, conditions. Condition A, that the lot split or merger does not contain more than 2 lots. Condition B, the 2 lots conform to the requirements of the respective zoning district. C, the lots may only be split or merged once under these provisions. D, the lots are zoned the same, adjoining and in the same plat addition. E, that the lot split or merger does not violate any provisions of the city ordinances, plans, or any other state and local ordinances. F, all current taxes must be up to date for the consideration. Number 2, the procedure of lot splits and lot mergers. An application and drawing shall be submitted to the code administrator. If the code administrator determines that the conditions are met, he or she shall review before a board made up of the chair of the Planning and Zoning Commission, the City Commission President, and the code administrator. Written notice of application shall be sent to all property owners within 150 feet of the proposed lot. Upon completion, this board may approve, modify, deny, or refer the application to the full Planning and Zoning Commission for consideration. 3, the application and application fee shall be required for each request. Number 4, the transfer of lots, no owner or agent or agent of owner shall transfer, sell, or agree to sell any lot before the lot split, replat, or plat is approved as provided under the requirements of this ordinance.
There's also another addition to the form, and that is, maybe you help with, because there would be a replat fee would be different than the lot split fee.
So we added on the application a lot split, lot merger fee of $200 and a replat fee of $250.
Your motion to accept the first reading.
I make a motion to accept the first reading of the plat ordinance.
I second that motion.
Discussion.
And that's, probably something just stupid, but on that replat number 3, you said it's 117.1, what it's got 11, does that make a difference?
Once you read it,
Yeah,
yeah, you said 117.1.
and it says .11.
$4.11.
Yeah. Well, is it supposed to be .11 or is it supposed to be .1?
Well, let's see. So the hearing will be, I believe it's 111. Yeah. 111 is procedures for amendments, conditional uses, variances, and that. Yeah, no, it's .11.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what it, yeah, that's what it says. Any other discussion? None? Okay. Kip?
Right.
Aye.
Okay, Solwood, broken curb stop.
This is the, what the address is, property. At 15 Sixth Avenue. There's a curb stop that is not operational. We can't turn it on, we can't shut it off. Curb stop, I feel, is the owner's responsibility.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, so. The property owner now is think we need to go in there, dig that up, place it, assess that cost back to the property.
Didn't we, approve doing that before, when, the goals thing?
I thought we did.
I did too.
Let's say that.
For this particular one.
Yes.
Yeah.
To me, it was discussed that.
We discussed it, and I don't know if we, I guess we'd have to go back and look, but I think it was,
That was if you dug it up, right?
well,
We were gonna,
this month.
I don't know, I mean, when we were gonna dig up for the frozen water, we were
Well,
gonna
the
do that
water
at
was
the
shut
same
off,
time.
Right, well, the water was shut off.
I think that's what,
Right now, it's just shut off in the house.
yeah. We need to do it before freeze up.
Well, I thought we were gonna fix both of that there, instead of just having it thaw out, and where do we find out?
Thawed out.
Hmm?
Thawed out.
And why does it freeze up?
Well, it's the first time it ever froze.
Well, I thought it froze last year too, or year before,
Goes it? No,
Not that one.
no.
wasn't it?
First time that's ever closed.
There's gotta be a reason for it.
Well, we were having to freeze up all over the state because it was so cold, you know, yeah.
Well, just be prepared this winter when it freezes up again to do something.
Yep, absolutely. But anyway, so we need to deal with this.
We'll need to make a motion, because it's probably gonna be over. our limit.
Okay, I wanna make a motion, we, have the curb stop replaced and the cost of that project, and then curb stop, assess that to the property owner.
Second.
Discussion. Colin?
Aye.
Kip?
Aye.
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 Yes. Okay, game permits. We have 3 of them. Okay, first one, it's the one from last meeting. We tabled for a little more information. And that was, Washington Riverboat Days, Tracy Jagger, Riverboat Days fundraiser. Monday night football games. Local, correct? So,
Motion to approve.
One second.
discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Chip?
Alright.
Aye. Yes. Next one is, okay, Washburn Sports Booster. Says to support local athletes. For 50/50 cash payout. There's, information of what's gonna be. So Apple.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Discussion. Colin?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Yes. Third one, Teen Alternative Group, funded at the prom party, 2020. Connecticut. Raffle. I don't want you to lose that one.
Second.
Discussion. Colin?
Aye.
Kit?
Aye.
Aye.
Yes. Senate Bill 2304. Randy, you would talk to David on that, correct?
Yeah, he called me, he's going to do some more research on that one. He's going to talk to, the state's attorney and a city, Bismarck city attorney to get some more
what that is increasing the local traffic fines. Okay, variance request for Grant Wheatman. We have a public hearing today, planning and zoning meeting, requesting a variance to build a deck closer to, or in the setback. The planning and zoning, unanimously recommended approval of that. From the commission. And basically what it does, it pretty much lined up with the house next door, right up front. So I will make a motion to approve the variance request.
I'll second.
Discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Kip?
Aye.
Right.
Aye.
Yes. You're missing anything, did I? Okay, in-day project, bid opening. Come on up.
What are you sitting back there for? You should have brought bigger help.
Yeah, you can outrun me too.
That's
so
right.
it's No
Good
good.
to hear.
I'm gonna have to like kick them so I can run faster. No, so I just wanted to, I passed out the update and I also passed out the bid opening. It's got the bid tab on one side and the detail on the other side. So we did the intake project bid opening on Thursday last week. You can see the tabulation of the bids there, but Engineering and Construction Innovations out of Oakdale, Minnesota was the low bidder for the general construction contract number 1. And John's Electric was the low bidder for contract 2 for the electrical work. See the numbers there. We went through all the bid documents and didn't find any discrepancies. Save one for Carson's Contracting, but they were the number 2 bidder, so there's a $200 rounding error that they had. I talked with the engineer and the estimator over at ECI, and all the methods that they plan on using for the project is in agreement with what we have set. We just would like to have a little bit of time to grab some references on them, and before we would recommend them. But that's where we're sitting right now for the bid opening.
Well, yeah, and we really don't want to make a decision until we figure out some funding sources, so. So, we're looking at total would be, what engineering and everything would be.
Yeah, so if you look at all the contracts, contract 1, contract 2, which is the general construction and electrical construction, and then the alternates for the riprap was alternate 1, and the backup generator was alternate 2. If you wanted to do all that, you're looking at $3.5 million. So $3,567,400 for all of that, if you choose to do all the alternates and everything. The alternate 2 low bid was $261,900 by John's Electric. And of course they have the $141,900 for their contract 2.
So with engineering and everything, it would be,
You're looking at 4.6 on it. And all the funding we have to cover 3.26 million for the State Fire Commission grant and the FEMA grant that we got. The base bid for contract 1 was $3 million for just the construction cost. Full project cost. Okay, that's going to be
At this point, what pull the generator out of it, everything for it. Generator.
if you take the generator off and the riprap off, you're looking at 3.2 million.
Don't we need the wrap?
You don't need the riprap, but if you're going to install riprap, that's what the Fish and Wildlife Service was requiring. If you're going to put riprap in the river, you need to have the bio riprap. So you can either not do any riprap at all, or you could do the bio riprap.
What would we do? Why would we want to spend the money to put something in that we don't need?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say you necessarily don't need it, but it would be a protection for your infrastructure if you riprap the bank.
I would say it's reassurance that that bank isn't going to move. Historically, we looked at that bank and it hasn't moved a whole lot. Now, there was a little bit of a pier built out right there that may or may not help the situation going forward, but historically, there have been a lot of problems there that is why we did it at the moment.
So that backup generator, that's where the new pump out, right? So that's where his power was out.
Actually,
For the water plant.
it would power the water plant.
All the water.
It would be part of the existing infrastructure you have now. We keep it as a river.
It would allow you to run the existing intake, and it would also allow you to run your high surface pumps in the water plant to get at least all the water that you have in storage out. So it would give you a couple days, which you shouldn't be out of power for a couple days, but the generator would, that's what its main purpose would be for.
So can we plumb everything in to the point where at a later date, we can purchase a generator and set up there? Like in a couple of years, or a year later, or 3 years later?
So I would actually recommend just pulling off on the generator just because of the overall budget where it's at. The same FEMA grant for maybe a different department or funnel of money offers some grant funding for generators. We can go after that at a later date.
But I mean, so it's wired in though, so I mean, if we, at a later date, okay, yeah, we're gonna do this generator. Now we can bring it up, set it in, and basically all we gotta do is run wires from the building. They'll be outside the building. All we gotta do is run a wire, tap it in from the building post into the generator.
No, because right now, the plant up here, nothing's being done there. This is all the intake across the river. So if we did the generator, then there would have to be upgrades to the plant too.
On this
side. To allow for that.
So with the generator alternate, everything that you're talking about would have been done with the installation of the generator. If you just wanted everything to be set up and ready to hook up to a generator, in a future date, it would have to be a different contract.
Okay. And there's no power running across between the two intakes when you do this, right? Because that side's going to be a different electric company than that side.
Correct.
What Eric was saying is we could do a generator power our existing intake that we have today.
Right.
Off a generator.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing on the generator is access to the treated water you have down there. You have 500,000 gallon storage at the site. Power goes out. You wouldn't even have to make water for a while, but you could always pump it out of there. Given the two different electrical providers, it's unlikely that your both intakes are going to be down at the same time. So, but who knows? Mother Nature does funny things. I wouldn't. I mean, that is another reason why we did it as an alternate. With concern about the overall budget. In my mind, we can go after the same FEMA disaster mitigation grant money to do generator projects.
So we took the generator out, it goes down to what?
3 million.
3.2?
So if you took both alternates off, you'd be at 3.2 million. If you took both generators off. If you want to keep the riprap, you're going to be at 3.3 million.
Keep the riprap.
And then with all the other fees, it would be like 4.3.
Correct.
We've already spent roughly $250,000 on this, because we have to pay a third of, to match the, State Water Commission grant.
So if you look at the overall budget, you have about a $4.3 million project. You have about $3.3 million worth of grant funding. That leaves about $1 million left over. As Larry just said, you've already incurred $250,000
that's something we need to, we need to look at more on that before we, go forward with this. So we have to figure out how to pay for it. If you can't pay for it, it's going to be pretty tough to do it. So.
And we don't have any cash in hand in our account right now, right? That, for the water intake? What's in there right now?
We talked about at the bid opening that there might possibly be something under that water treatment upgrade account. From what Jasper remembers, that was leftover funds from the building of the water treatment plant. There's approximately $460,000 in there.
Also, that's some of that surge money left. That's what we've been
We
funding.
don't have any surge money left, because that's what we transferred over to pay for the road.
Road. I thought we did the one cent sales tax for the road.
No.
Why?
Pieces, and that's what we transferred into this to pay for all of it. We transferred what was left of this money. It's one of those two projects, so if it wasn't the
Right.
road, then it was this one.
Because we had like 300,000 or something, 320,000 in the third, and then we spent like 240, 250 of it, so we got a little left, a lot.
It's already been put into that account.
Yeah, it's an account.
Yeah, it's been.
So we need roughly 310,000.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if we need to totally delete the water treatment plant upgrade account down to nothing.
Well, that's what I want.
No.
Personally, I don't want to touch that account, the water plant. I realize it's for the water plant, but at some point we're gonna have to redo that, if you're not gonna put money back in there.
There's also 2% funding, right? That was, that's right, was it?
Yeah, we have the project set up for SRF funding. So if that's something the city would decide, we could do that loan application.
But that's gonna come out of the $400,000.
2%
We have
interest
to
rate.
count the water on the road.
We also got, we're looking at probably within the next year membranes.
Mm-hmm. But there's money in a fund for that, right? Or was that a different?
In 19, you have it under the water.
Under the water enterprise fund,
Yeah.
yeah. But we need to sit down and just go through these figures and see where we're at. And
Wasn't there a commitment from McLean Sheridan as well there?
yeah, we'll probably get 10% from McLean Sheridan, that's another 100,000 there. So
10% of our portion or 10% of the whole project?
We can ask.
yeah, so yeah, we need, like I said, we need to sit down so we don't have to make a decision tonight. So.
Yeah, and that will give us more time to get some references on ECI.
Right.
Like I said, all their bidding documents look great, and they answer the questions that I need to hear from them on their methods for the construction. We just need to do some more checking. So.
Well, I guess what I would like to see is to find out what we put towards this project already. To see. if
Roughly
we come-
250 grand.
Yeah, to come and say, okay, the next meeting with what we have for funding, what the total project cost is, to say, okay, the city of Washburn has to come up with X number of.
I can put a
Exactly.
sheet together for you if you want. Show you that.
That way, if we have to raise the water bill a little bit, or if we're close, or if it's even feasible to do it.
But rough numbers at 750,000 more. It's $1 million total. You've already incurred 250 grand.
Okay.
So you have 750 left.
So then the question is, all projects go, so halfway through, you can do all the change orders you want, but we're not paying for them. Because again, I look at that and say, well, that's what I'm paying the engineer for, is to figure all this stuff out up front.
So I just wanted to bring it up again. I think I sent an email to everybody, and I've already talked about it, but we did get the project past the environmental review for that FEMA grant. So we're counting on that grant. It's going through the congressional notification process right now. It takes 2 to 3 weeks for that to happen, and that's actually started last week. So just so you're aware, we might actually hear that in the news or in a press release before I actually, or you get a letter in the mail from it. It's because I don't know if they have to take credit for it or what, but the politicians will sometimes put that press release out on money that's getting awarded to the state. So it's just so you're aware. And we're still working on our permits, Sarver permit. I was expecting a while ago, but they tell me this week now, and then the core permits as well. Of course, those are things we can worry about down the road.
We kind of need those.
We do need those to do any work, but they've been telling me for a while that they won't be an issue. So if there's any other questions on the intake project, if not, I'll go to the main avenue project. Okay. So I think we've talked about it before, but the topsoil for this project out here, there wasn't really any good topsoil there. It was more riprap that was covered with grass. Over the years, that's kind of what was all that was there. There wasn't any salvage like we're planning on. So what we talked to the contractor about for the same price that they were going to remove it and replace it on what was on site. They were going to run trucks up and grab the topsoil from the city stockpile across the highway. So we're going to bring that up to the commission to see if that's something we can do. We're a ways away from using topsoil, but we obviously want to make sure we have a way to handle that. So.
Well, is that really a city stockpile up there? Years ago, we got told that was sort of the land and stuff up there, but I know people are helping themselves to it.
Yeah, I know. I think we talked about that, Colin and I did. You know, I mean, I guess we own the lots up there, so, you know, but it's, I know what happened is, you know, what always happens is you put that dirt there, but then it's always gone by the time people buy and you know, build their,
Well, that topsoil should just come from the roads anyway. That really shouldn't have come from any of the lots, right?
well, it came from some where they put the water and sewer lines in, you know, if they were in a boulevard, but, you know.
They scraped off all the lots up there when they did it. They came with the backhoe.
They scraped them all?
Pretty much. They were up there doing a lot of piling when we did that.
Piling? Oh, piling. No.
Piling. They put piles of that stuff, and it came from a little bit of everywhere to level everything on.
I think we just go ahead and use it, you know, limited amount. You know, what was your amount, 290?
290 cubic yards is what we had to cover those slopes. So.
No, I think we got a little less. Okay.
What are we going to do to keep that in place so it doesn't wash away in the first rain we get?
So we have a flexible growth media. It's hydraulically installed erosion control material that as soon as it's applied, it's able to take a rain. So I think I've talked with Larry about it, but it's a product by profile. They really stand behind it that it's that it'll work, and if it doesn't, something will get replaced. But they're pretty confident in it. So it's not like a hydro seed. It's sprayed hydraulically, but it's the material that's in it sets up protection right away from the rain. You have a sheet flow come across it. So that's on the 2.5 to 1 slopes, and then on the flatter areas will be just the regular hydro seed.
I move that we use that dirt up there. I move that we use that dirt up there. And you can, if somebody seconds it, then you can finish your discussion.
I'll second.
Okay, discussion.
at home. So with the black dirt, it should be fine, but is there gonna be enough fill to be able to finish this project? Are we looking at something there additional, or what's your thoughts on that?
You know, I think we're gonna be fine, but we'll see, with the holes, we're looking at once they start getting a little bit closer to the top here. Yeah, from what they told me in their estimates, that they would have enough fill for it.
I talked to him the other day, he thought there'd be plenty there. No. I have to show you where that.
Probably didn't have enough stats, Matt, as if they could maybe short some fill, if we have to make up a black dirt somewhere. I don't know what's up there.
I'd rather not. But anyway, I showed him what pile was, showing the route and everything that you have to go, but I said we were gonna discuss it also.
Yeah, if it rains, that road's gonna be really muddy, really bad.
Yeah. I know.
So it's, you know, but otherwise,
It wouldn't be this week yet anymore. Any other discussion on it? Colin?
Aye.
Good? Mike?
Aye.
Yes. And I told him, you know, we'll try and keep the charge down a little bit.
Yeah, we can, yeah. So, they're gonna get a gas line in on Wednesdays, what the schedule is, when they can work. It's been going pretty well out there. Obviously, they've been delayed, a number of times by the rain. They have requested, I know that the drop dead date or the final completion date is the 31st, or the end of the month. They requested an extension to the 13th of September to get the asphalt on. That's up to you guys, if you want to allow that or not. With the job that they've been doing, they've been doing a really good job so far. And with the rain that we've had, I don't have any problem with them going ahead. That's up to what you guys think. So, that's probably 2 weeks, just under 2 weeks, I think 13 days.
I will make a motion, we send that deadline out, that's September 13th.
Yeah.
Every time I'm down, I think we're doing a phenomenal job.
Okay. Any other discussion on that?
And what happens if it goes past the 13th?
Yes, for what? Or they get a penalty.
Penalized. And obviously, if we get indulged with rain the next 2 weeks, they can't control that, we can't either.
Well, don't sound good for the rest of this week. Start tonight, Thursday, Friday.
And I will say too, I mean, they have been doing good work, and they've been working every day that they can.
Yeah.
They've been out there on Saturdays too, and, so.
They're doing a really good job. Okay, any other discussion? Colin?
Aye.
Yep.
Aye.
Aye. Yes.
The only other thing I had with that project was you asked for the quote on the rack or the cover for the inlet side of the storm sewer, and their quote supply and install that was $1375. I assume that you'd only want it on the inlet side, the
that's
upstream
what
side.
I was, just so we had an idea on price.
Yep.
I don't know if it's a good idea or a bad idea. You know, with all the stuff that's in the bottom right now.
We can think about it.
Yeah,
Well, I'm gonna suggest something. For our engineering snafu in the black dirt, maybe advanced engineering can discover that cost.
Good one.
We say that.
you should have ran when you had a chance.
You should know me by now, Jeff. Yeah. You should know me by now.
Trash rack on the front of it?
Yeah, the inlet side. You can think about that on next meeting.
My engineer's recommendation is
That's not what he asked.
Remember that one. You gotta come up and clean it out and it's plugged. Well, it'll probably plug up faster anyway.
I would add one to the next one downstream.
to keep the culvert plugged.
Well, I would say inspections then.
Yeah.
Okay. Move on.
That's all I have for the Main Avenue project, unless there's any questions. If there's none there, then I'll move on to the ceiling paint schedule. They did the sample area, and they're going to be back on Thursday. At least that's what Brian and Adam were told by the PKG representatives. So they'll be here on Thursday to continue work.
Who's up there today?
I'm not sure if there was. I didn't talk to Brian today either, though.
Yeah, so I don't look like them guys, but I don't know.
Okay, well, that's news to me then. Yep.
I don't know, there's some vehicles there all day. I didn't talk to anybody to see if that was stealing or if they're doing something with pumps. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just, the last information I was told was that they would be here on the 22nd, which would be Thursday. But checking with Adam and Brian on that now.
Okay. Any questions?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Portfolios, new business, Colin?
I think they covered everything I had with the our plant ceiling. Putting up just a few panels, I thought it looked pretty good. Big improvement over the peeling paint, so. All I got. Oh, sorry. The new sander finally arrived. It is here. It is slightly different from the old one.
It's really nice.
For less than half price of the old one. So, it's just compound, but yeah, very, very nice.
Yeah.
We got an invoice for it today in the mail. Have it to the next time. You're gonna hold off
I think you could put it in.
Put it in the next time.
Yeah.
Good.
Nothing.
At Memorial Hall, the plan is to dig tomorrow, unless we have downpours that won't quit. It's a fluid deal. We'll work with whatever we need to work with, but that's the tentative plan. So,
I think it will not.
no, it's just whatever works, you know.
Anything else?
We're just waiting for the electrical in the kitchen.
Yeah, we'll have a,
So that would be nice.
let me on that, so, eventually, with
I
the meeting, so.
think we've gone over everything else.
Okay, I said that, that, we talked about that one street light, and I said I was gonna get some other street lights in that area. I noticed there was one of them out on 60. REC handled very little of the street lights there, so that's basically what I was looking at. What was the quote for that street light on the corner of ID and, Garden? It was like 8,000.
1,228, the north side of Ivy, with an unmetered billing of $150 per month.
It's basically the same billing as, I suppose, all the other ones, I suppose.
I can't compare, I don't know.
Yeah, well, they usually are. So, that corner I'm talking about, get there, sort of being dark there, especially on, Halloween night, I'm always scared that
Yeah.
you get run over.
Ball games, football games, everybody's walking through there.
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we install that light, have that light installed, and then we'll have to check that one on, one big one.
What, by your corner there?
Yeah.
Just hook it to your electric meter?
Good.
Fine.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That's a second. That's a second.
That'll be through the streets then?
Yeah.
So, oh.
Colin,
That's for discussion.
discussion. Colin?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Right.
Aye.
Yes. Rainey?
Okay, just had a couple of things. You notice that we got the wagon wheel bid for the flooring was quite a bit different than what we had in the budget, so just so that you saw that. Still don't have, the minutes from the park board. Chad wanted the official minutes approved before, we give them the blow truck, we okay to do that trail, so just so you know that we don't have that yet.
Well, I think they're already working on it.
Somebody's
I got through it myself
Okay, well,
yesterday.
anything about that, Mark? That filling, that,
He's working on it.
we're supposed to wait until they have the approval, but.
The park board was gonna have Hannah wasn't able to come to the last board meeting on Wednesday last week. And she was supposed to bring the minutes, so they had approved it. So they were talking about holding a special meeting in order to get that, instead of waiting another month.
And then the only other thing is, I had put a copy of ordinance 140, which is the water. That was one of the ordinances that you had wanted to work on before winter. So maybe that's something that we can start working on. That kind of right through. There may be some questions as far as some of the things you might look at changing. I looked at Bismarck and compared it, and Beaver's and a couple other cities. So that might be something that we could start working on before it's possible. Bismarck is identical to ours, except that they go into the dollar, the funding, exactly how that is done. They have a whole section on that added to the end of their. Yep. So that might be something that we bring forward to you guys very shortly. That's it.
Anybody have anything else?
Oh, going back to the off-road trail, the park board, said that they weren't going to allow anybody to use that until it is approved.
Looking like there's quite a bit of work to do yet.
Well, yeah, they're still working. And what he's doing is he's cleaning up after himself.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else? Bill?
I make a motion to pay bills.
Second.
Discussion on the bills? Yeah, I had a question on, what was it?
Well, first payment to the Wise and Son is in the bills. Is that what you're,
No, it's another.
okay. Rating on that, for the city hall flooring, how much over the budget was
Only
it?
put 5 and what was 11.
Now,
She did not itemize, remember we had asked.
yeah,
She did
section,
not do that.
could we try that again?
We
See if
didn't
that,
ask her to do that.
because that's what we were talking about, doing the hallway in your office. Okay.
We can.
So, see if there was a section in there.
Oh, yeah, it was, the Silas one that says, fish clean RV dump, it's just the fish cleaning station, right? They always list our RV dump on there?
Yeah, I suppose that's how we got it. Just, yeah, it's just fish cleaning.
Okay, because there is an RV dump up there.
But that's city sewer, not a clean out.
That's true, yeah, that's true, okay. Okay. All right. So we have a motion and a second, Colin?
That's second, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, second.
We're voting.
We're asking
Yeah.
you to-
Oh, yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Call it a maybe.
I thought you
Number
were asking
9.
if we need one.
Meeting adjourned, thank you, everybody.
Sure.
Jeez.
Is there quite a bit of dirt that they're moving out to my place up there, or up in that area?
Or not. Well, the thing calls for 290 cubic yards.
Yeah, I don't have a reference.
But we're hoping to buy about half of that.
I should be prepared for a lot of questions, but always in stuff.
Oh my gosh.
So,
And then we're
There's
gonna
quite a bit there, but.
yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, but it goes
Someone-
Because some of that, people push stuff there too, you know, some of that black dirt, some people hold stuff in.
I wrote it.
Really?
I'm not sure if
That
I
was
got
from
it.
the wagon mill.
Okay.
But I will.
They own that dirt and
I just emailed it.
from,
You can't.
when they did the cement and stuff.
It is.
That was black dirt.
Just like,
I don't know if it was black dirt, at least some of that got hauled in there. That's what I'm saying, it's not all black dirt.
Where the hell they call it?
and what's that?
I don't know.
A thousand
I
dollars
just,
for a cardboard or 10,000? Okay, wait. Okay, and,
The bills, or the check?
$150,000 just for electrical, you know?
even if you got,
how much is the contract for the space? 161 was what I was thinking, but I know it's an odd number.
But if you